Forever. Dog.
Hello and welcome to the next episode, the first episode officially in December of Very That. This is I like to call it our first Christmas episode, even though it's not not Christmas, but Raja, I've come out of hibernation. I've come out of hiding. It's Christmas.
You've come out. You've come out. Congratulations on coming out.
Thank you. Ooh.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
I wait.
Very that.
She's so bad.
Oh, honey.
But why is she so very that?
Very that.
Aww.
It is December and the entire month is fucking Christmas for Delta. Actually, it started November 1st, but here we are. It's Christmas. And welcome everyone to Very That. I'm Raja.
And I'm Delta. And we are basically, legendary, sickoning, flawlessina, drag queenas. That's what we. That's who we are. That's what we do. At least that's what's going on in the movie in our minds. That's who we.
Yes.
That's who we think we are. And we are here to just talk shit, not get hit, and just do it all up. And listen. It's good. You're already sick of me. Okay, you've had over 20 years. Over 20 years of. God, it really has been over 20 years. But,
me? Sick of you?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you get me in doses. That's why. And plus, you get to leave the country, so you don't have to look at me. But you're gonna get sick of me talking about all of the holiday stuff. I mean, it's time for cookies and candy canes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? Do you like cookies?
I love cookies. See, that's I like, I've said this before, but I'm mostly a savory person. But one of the things I do really enjoy about the holidays specifically is the sweets. I do like it. I love I love pies, I love cookies, I love candies, I like the sweet part. I think that's fun. Yeah.
Do you have a preference for a certain kind of candy cane?
Oh, I never understood the candy cane. I just don't get it. I don't understand the peppermint part. I don't understand. I understand the colors, the red and white, and then sometimes they add green. I used to love the candy canes that were sort of fruity flavored and rainbow. I like those. I'm
listening.
What
is there to understand?
I mean, get up in it. That is a fat fucking candy cane. Where'd you get that?
I buy these at the 99-cent store. You know, I'm always at 99-cent store. I buy them there every year. I buy about 20 of them. Because normally we're working in the nightclub, and normally when it's not a pandemic and the world is not a quagmire of shit, normally we get to be all over the place performing. And one of my numbers that I love to do centers around sucking a candy cane. And I have to so I need like 20 of them. And as soon as these come out, I know it's time.
Well, how many do you suck at one time?
It's 20? Not how many I suck. It's how many times do I do it.
Oh.
Because I take, if we're working, six nights a week at different bars, those numbers get repeated because it's a holiday. When are you going to use those numbers again, right?
I see. I thought you actually shoved, it's like, that one meme with the girl that gets the hot dogs in her face. I thought it was like that kind of a thing where you get.
Well, I do that with hot dogs. Yeah. But not with candy canes.
I was hoping you would stick all 20 candy canes in your mouth because I know you have those capabilities. You have those talents.
I like it in my ass. Freaking ass.
Dis-toi.
Dis-toi. So yeah, candy cane.
But you know what cookies, one thing I don't like at Christmas, I think they're very cute, is gingerbread. Gingerbread houses are very adorable. I definitely like, I like building things and I like creating things. So I like the idea of a very beautifully made gingerbread house, but do not stick it anywhere in my mouth. It's
really
weird. It's weird to me. It's like, not unless they're like freshly baked out of the oven and soft. But have you ever tried to eat an actual gingerbread house that's been sitting out for like a week?
I've eaten a ginger. I've eaten several gingers.
Oh, well, that's
Who
how
had a lot
that
of
is.
bread?
So
Who had a lot of bread?
big.
No, I'm kind of with you, but I like the stuff that goes on the gingerbread house. Like I love spice drops. Do you love spice drops?
Mm.
No.
No, gross. The one with the
What?
sugar all over it? Is that
I
what
don't
you
know
mean?
how you don't like anything good. You don't.
I like are Snickerdoodles considered Christmas cookies? In some cultures they are, right? Isn't
Yes,
that
those are
kind of like a maybe
delicious.
I like a
That's a staple.
Snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a sugar cookie that's decorated beautifully.
Mhm.
But only
Yum.
if they taste well, because some sugar cookies are just all decoration and no sugar or no cookie.
I think what makes the cookie good is not only quality vanilla, because it's such a simple flavor profile. There has to be a
Mm,
good vanilla in it. And I
mm-hmm.
also think it has to have, if you're going to sift it, it has to be like double sifted flour. It has to be, I mean, you really have to take that when the ingredients are so specific, they have to be very refined so that they
Mm-hmm.
all play out. It's like acting in a scene and only having, 5 seconds and going, oh, I can't really make it happen. You have to make it happen in 5 seconds. So that little taste, you have to go, ooh, you really did this cookie. It was simple, but you did it. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I think that's
mm-hmm,
true.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's
You
true.
know what's weird too is like sometimes when like your relatives give you like a bunch of cookies for Christmas and then they put like a variation of cookies all in one tin. Like they'll put the oatmeal, the chocolate chip, the sugar cookie, and then they've been all together in this one tin together that they all start to taste the same.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell which is the oatmeal or the sugar. You can only tell by
Yeah.
texture and feel and look. But I
Mhm.
think that cookies should be separated. I believe
Well,
I believe in the segregation of cookies.
I could see, yeah, I could see why that's important. But you know what you can do is when they all start to taste the same, you can just get some Cool Whip and put it on top and mash it into a cake cookie, and then just eat it like that.
No, okay. You see, what people need to realize that cookies are like Christmas popcorn. They need
Mm.
the separators. If you're going to get the big tin of popcorn, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
The
holy
popcorn
night.
must be separated. The cheese must
Oh,
be
holy
separated
night.
from the caramel, and then whatever that third flavor is, that's that red color. They all have to
Mhm.
be separated because if you put them together, you just get one popcorn, which I inevitably, because I'm such a stoner, I end up just getting handfuls of all three and
Mm.
then just shoveling it in my mouth anyway. But
Well, maybe that's why recently we've seen in places, like different brands have the cheddar cheese and corn or caramel in a bag. Like you can buy that at Target. I
mm,
do like to have the flavors separated. I was just talking to Mayhem about this because we both are huge Christmas popcorn tin fans, and
oh,
she has a theory about eating popcorn, and that is that she eats her least favorite of the three flavors first. That way the caramel would be her least favorite. My
what?
I That's what she said. But
Oh.
I think my favorite of the three in a just a generic non-branded tin would be the cheese flavor. Because it's
Mm.
so salty, you know what I mean? And then the butter
Mm.
kind of tastes a little bit stale usually,
Mm-hmm.
but the
Mm-hmm.
caramel will stay crunchy because it's coated in candy. So bitch, I
Fuck.
love popcorn. I'm for real.
Now I
I'm
need
for
all
real.
of these things. I'm just gonna get them now. I'm gonna start because it's
Yeah.
December 1st. It's probably all in the stores. I can probably Amazon them to my house or something, or find a whatever. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. I need these treats and I need them now.
Do you have a beauty mark? Are you wearing a beauty mark? Or is that no?
Why do I look especially beautiful?
You just look so fresh. I'm looking at the picture behind you and I remember when that was painted.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
listen, all these years later, I mean, you just maintain um I don't know, just there's a freshness. I know you've been in Mexico. But you look fresh. You look so fresh and relaxed, and that's good. That's a good thing.
I thank you very much, and the only person I can thank is the sun.
Hmm.
Yes, because I've gotten a little bit of sun, and also Dr. Carlos Diaz, who's my friend and doctor, who's given me a bit of a touch up.
I think you look beautiful.
I only get a little bit. I did get a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I hate to repeat my age over and over again, but I am, just years away from being 50. So it's time for me to do a little bit of touch up because, we work in an industry where, I don't know. I just want to feel better. So I got a little lip done and I got a little Botox done.
Okay.
Okay. And a little bit at the top of my cheeks.
Right. And that's
but no
it.
beauty mark. No beauty mark, though.
No, you don't need to muddle it up with a beauty mark. A lot of people are doing beauty marks right now. It's retrending. And I remember initially when I used to wear a beauty mark, there would be that line where it was like here, here, here. You could, if you were really aggressive about it, you could do them all the way across. It's like sort of a Kevin O'Quan thing. And then it was like a trick to hide a zit. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. That's the, if the zit is a beauty mark, absolutely.
But they're getting bigger and bigger. I've seen them.
I was always fascinated with Roxy Andrews and her usually constellation of beauty marks. She'd have one right on her chin.
Gorgeous.
She'd have one at the top of her cheek, and then she'd have one right above the brow. Just ever so. I always like the beauty marks that there's these little pens now that you can get where you can put a little star or a little heart.
Oh, I want one of those. I want one of those.
All over my
Sponsor us.
face. Yes, please.
Sponsor us so I can have one.
Yes, please. I want that. I do love a beauty mark, though. Should I put one on now?
Well, yeah. Where would you put one if you were going to put one on in this schematic, in this storyline of your face?
Well, I naturally have, let me get a little closer to the camera here. You can't even see it because I have a shit ton of foundation on. But I have a beauty mark right in the center of my nose, right at the top of the forehead. It's like a birth bindi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where should I put one here? Where should I put one?
I would say on your look today, I would probably put it on your ass.
You go fuck yourself. With that said, we're going to take a break so she can go fuck herself and I can put on a beauty mark. And we'll be right back with Very That.
All right, and we're back. We're back with Very That.
We are back with Very That. And you know what we have here?
The anals.
One of our favorite things is annals. The annals of the inbox. And we love when you send us letters. If you want to send us a letter and maybe bring up a topic that we have hit on or that that we should hit on or that whatever you want to say, you can hit us up at deltaandraja@gmail.com. That's how you can get a hold of us. Your letter may make it here. And we have some letters that have made it here. Our first one is from Michael. You ready for this?
Ready.
Hi, Delta and Raja. This is Michael from Australia.
Ooh.
I'm wondering if you had to move to a different state in the United States, which would you choose? If you had to move to a different country, which would you choose?
Can I start with that?
Okay. I wish you would.
First of all, state, I am not leaving the state of California. I have tried many years ago. In 2007, I moved to New York City. I lived there for 2 years. I love New York City. I love New York City to visit. I love the Met. I love bodegas, and I love all those little New Yorky things, but God damn it, you can't pay me, you can pay me a lot of money, but there's no way. It's dirty. There's too many rats. I hate subways. I hate cold. I would never leave, not right now. I would not leave. I'm not going fucking anywhere. I'm staying right here in California. Listen, it's December. It's sunny outside. I believe it is, how many degrees outside? About 67, 70 degrees. It's warm. It's beautiful. And, it's livable and everything. And my family is here. And California is a blue state. It's liberal.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not leaving the state of California. I love the diversity of it. And countries, I am not going anywhere. I'm everywhere in the world seems like it's fallen apart. So why would I want to leave America right now? Because I love England. I love the UK. And if I could move anywhere, it would be the UK. But UK is fucked up too. So I'm just going to stay right here. I'm going to stay in my little nest apartment right here in Southern California, not go anywhere. And that's my answer.
I think
what about
that's
you?
fair.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I've traveled abroad a little tiny bit. Not to too many places, but I've been to the UK a few times, and I loved it. But we've talked about this before, and how I fully admit to being the stereotypical fat, lazy American. It's an insult. It's an insult to many people, but I am about convenience. I'm about access. I am about my privilege and those things. And I know they need to be in check. But in what I mean by that, as far as privilege goes, is the things that I can afford for myself. I like being able to get in a car and getting an iced tea at 4:00 in the morning if I want. I like being able to do all those things. I like, I don't know. I like the fact that everything in the United States is fucking Oreo flavored. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with that. It doesn't necessarily mean that I need to eat that or it's a wise choice, but I like the access to that. As far as moving to another state, I always thought that I would be totally an Oregon person. I thought I would be a Portland person. I thought I would be, I thought I would be into like food trucks and it being constantly like cold and dank and rainy. And because I love that, obviously. But I don't know if I could leave here. I do have family that lives in the middle of Utah, and it is gorgeous. Let me tell you, the just scaling it back and just chilling out and relaxing is so beautiful. I wish I could live that way with just like a lot of space, a big house, not too much expectation as far as social media and all that stuff. But that's how we live. I mean, that's the life that we have. So we couldn't possibly just live in the middle of nowhere and expect to do the things that we still do. But yeah,
I will definitely agree with you on the Portland thing, because I've been many times, and something about the Pacific Northwest, it's just beautiful.
It's also very mysterious. There's something mysterious about it.
Portland is considered a rainforest, and it really is one of those places that really lends itself to good napping. Like, it's just rainy and just beautiful, and it's always blooming. There's always flowers. But, I'm so California.
I do love California. I do love being here. But I mean, there's parts of Texas that I love so much. There are parts of Texas, of course, politically, everybody's kind of screwed now. But, aside from that, when I'm talking about the beauty, there's so much beauty in the Southwestern United States that I love. So yeah, I don't know that I could live anywhere other than here only. But we talked about this just the other day, you and I, when we were talking about like traveling and who would you have been if you had traveled outside of the country as a married person or as a single person, or if I had done most of this in my 20s, not my 30s, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much, I could have been someone else. Really, if I had those life experiences at an earlier age or at a different phase in my life. So who knows? Who knows?
I'm definitely not a New Yorker. And when I lived there, people would be like, well, if you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. And I was like, I don't think so. I think you're full of shit. Who says what? Frank Sinatra in a song?
Right.
Like, how did you come to that conclusion? I don't believe that. I believe you can make it anywhere if you want to make it anywhere. But I'm definitely not a New Yorker.
I like kind of upstate New York, and I love Syracuse. I don't know if that's considered upstate, but it's certainly not the city. But I'm much too slow. I operate too slow for that type of fast-paced, and I'm not saying that anybody's rude. It's just the pace is faster, and I'm not as fast as that. Oh goodness, look at that!
Me.
Oh wow! Put your mask on. Okay, bless you, bless
Thank
you.
I'm such a loud sneezer. Are you a loud sneezer? That's how I know a few people who are loud sneezers, and high five to loud sneezers. So
I'm actually a loud skeezer. But I don't. I like to. Do you ever have to hold that? Especially now, you hold your sneeze in when you're around strangers or when you're about to cough, and you're like,
No, I don't.
I do. I'm afraid because I'm like they're gonna think that I'm purposely being like disrespectful or something. When in actuality, maybe there was pollen in the air or whatever. But
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my allergies. I don't know. Is sneezing a symptom of COVID? I'm so worried. I'm so paranoid. I don't know.
Well, listen, Michael, we want to stay in California. We want to visit other places, but I think we would both continue to live in California, is what we're saying. And but that doesn't mean I don't want to come to your place because I'd love to come to.
I love Australia. I miss Australia. So, all right, we have another letter here. This one's really interesting.
Okay.
This one goes deep. This one comes from Alina. It says, "Hi Delta and Raja. I love your new podcast and wanted to let you know that you got at least one listener in Germany." Oh, okay. On the previous episode, you briefly talked about kinks and potentially recording one or more episodes on the topic. I got a bit of a kink myself and would love to hear more about the topic from you. When I first realized that what I'm into, I was a little freaked out. I was only 16. Okay. Later, I became more comfortable with it, and besides telling my close friends about it, I also went to fetish parties. Oh, honey, let me tell you about some fetish parties. Today, I'm glad I am as experimental as I am, but I think many people may still be ashamed or hold back. I'd love to see a development towards normalizing fetishes and embracing them. How do you go about telling your partner that you are into delicately? Any advice for someone going to a fetish party for the first time and may feel a little intimidated? Do you have any kinky stories from your life to share where something went wrong and how you dealt with that? Well, first of all, in kink, there's always a safe word. So you don't want anything to go wrong. That was the last part of the question, where something went wrong and how you dealt with that. I suppose there's a safe word. It should be consensual, and it should be, an agreement. You'd be like, okay, my safe word is candy cane, let's say.
Okay.
Like we said, we are going to have a whole entire episode on just kink. Of course, Alina is from Germany because we all know that lots of kink comes from Germans. I mean, you can literally go to your Pornhub and just type in Germany.
Oh, okay.
on the bar at the top, and it will pull out all kinds of things. But my experience in drag really started in the fetish world, so I definitely have an understanding of kinks and fetishes. My personal fetish is more in the fetish wear, the gear, if you will. I don't necessarily want to bark like a dog or wear. I like the puppy gear, but I don't want to be a puppy. I just want to wear it. I like harnesses, but I don't want to be harnessed. I just like to wear the harness. I like latex because I like the feeling of latex. Well, maybe I am kinky. I don't know. Tell me. You got some kinks?
Well, the thing that surprises me about this letter specifically is that Alina has not told us what her kink is.
There's that part
and
too.
And Alina says that and I don't want to, reference what anybody was doing at 16 years old. So I'm talking about Alina now, not about what happened at 16, because that's not, to me, that's, and I think we all know that's weird. That's not. But I'm maybe patching together because she signs off with loads of love. So Alina, I don't know if it's a loads thing and that's fine. We talked again, and I'm glad Alina brought this up because this could be a special. This could be a 2-part it could be a 15-part special. I just am rarely surprised when someone says, "Oh, do you know so-and-so's into this or that?" I don't think it should be a secret. And I don't think it should be a surprise. And I think because I do believe that sex can be fun, or it can be a little tense, or it could be frightening, or it could verge on being dangerous, of course.
Wendy.
Right. And it could be that, but it could be very that. It should be all of that. It should be all of those things. It's interesting how many people are surprised by certain things. I've always said that at drag shows when I'm performing, a lot of times younger, and again, this is not everyone, but a lot of times when there's younger heterosexual cisgender couples there, many times
Mm-hmm.
the cisgender heterosexual female will sort of be a little aloof and standoffish, like, oh, no, mm-mm. But whenever you're in a setting where there's an older cisgender heterosexual woman,
Mm-hmm.
they are always seem to be on board because they're like, well, I put myself here. I'm not surprised by any of this. And there's been several times where there have been like older heterosexual cisgender men that
Mm-hmm.
are there having a good time, and it's because they see it for the drag show for what it is, a drag show. It's fun. And in fact, one guy said to me one time, I said, I was hosting, and I said, does this surprise you? Are you nervous? And he said, I served in Vietnam for 8 years. None
Mm-hmm.
of this surprises me. And I thought, well, you've seen the best of the best then. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you've seen the world. And so people are not afraid of it. So sometimes I feel like older people are not as afraid or concerned about what other people are going to think about them, because they're like, well, I've seen all this before, or
Mm-hmm.
what I thought is actually worse than what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Mm-hmm.
actually happening isn't harming anyone. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personal kinks, I have many, and I've said this before. I have been many women to many different people
Uh-huh.
many times in my life, and that may surprise people, or that may be, and that's the question comes from people. Well, what do you mean by that? Have you had sex in drag? Of course I have. Of course I have.
Absolutely.
Have I worn something specific for someone in drag? Of course I have.
Absolutely.
Was I only with people who only wanted to be with me when I was in drag? Absolutely. Why? Because I cornered a market, a specific market, and that was someone who looked like a woman to them, who was
Mm-hmm.
actually a man, who
Mm-hmm.
actually appeared and felt soft and feminine, but
Mm-hmm.
also could be a bit dominant, and
Mm-hmm.
and brought to life what some certain people like. Do I do that now? No, that's not the relationship that I'm in. That's not what I'm about. But I don't know. Could I be that person again? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's not a secret. I'm not afraid of that.
I'm with sexual partners in my life, I think I customize it accordingly, and
Absolutely.
I have a very open mind. So unless it involves torturing people or
Right.
animals, or non-consensual ideas, not into it. But yes, I have done very, very crazy things. I can definitely list everything, but we don't have time for all that. But I have
No.
done some and Delta.
Oh, I know. And the thing is, we've both been in the same situations where we've enjoyed the night and have a good time or whatever, and we watch as the other person goes, oh, I know what she's doing. I know where she's going. I don't know specifically what's going to happen, but I know that this person's in control of what their situation is going to be, and it might come up later and it might not. But we've never really been surprised by those things, and I wish the world wasn't surprised.
My relationship with prosciutto and frozen grapes.
Yes.
So
yes. I was very in demand with Middle Eastern men looking like this.
I still, till today, I've always had a shoe fetish, and the higher and less easy it is for me to walk, and instead I have to be on my back or on my knees in the shoes. Yes, if the shoes
I have a fetish with flat shoes. Actually, and the more I can sit and with my legs wide open and not do a fucking thing but drink iced tea. So yes, Alina, thank you so much for writing that letter in. We're going to get back to more of that. Absolutely. I think that should be that should be a segment. Who knows?
Yeah. And Alina, while you're at it, you might as well just email us and tell us exactly what that kink is, so we won't say it out loud, but we just want to know.
No, I'll say it out loud, but but we have another letter from Kim.
Okay.
So listen up. Hi, Delta and Raja. Enjoying your podcast. I love that you are very different people, but have a lot in common. It reminds me of my best friendships. One of those things that you both seem to be very comfortable in your own skin and don't spend a lot of time worrying about other people's opinions about you. I'm about the same age as you, but I I haven't quite gotten to that place. I'm curious about your journeys to self-acceptance and shrugging off the haters because I'm willing to bet they are very different roads. Did you have any aha moments or specific moments along the way where you really felt like you stepped into your confidence? Peace, love, and Takis, Kim.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna sound like I'm contradicting myself because earlier in the segment we talked about me getting a little bit of touch-ups done on my face, but you know what? I do those things only because I want to feel better, and it's not because I'm doing it for other people. I do it for just improvements and just, it's like I heard Carmen, there's a documentary on supermodels, and one of my favorites is a model named Carmen del Orfice, and
Yes.
she's very famous. She's this very angular woman with white hair. She's probably in her 70s or 80s now, but she's beautiful, and she admits to getting touch-ups done on herself because she compares her body to a home or a temple. And if the roof was falling off of your house, don't you want to fix the roof? If the paint was chipping on your house, wouldn't you want to fix the paint? If and so that's how she compares it, and that's how I treat my body and my face at this point in my life. But otherwise, I really don't give a fuck. I've always been kind of that way. Like I just do my own thing. Right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. This is a very layered question. I think it's very, very layered because, again, what we do, not just this past year, but what we do in general is marketing. We have to market ourselves as to why should I work at your event? Why should I promote your product? Why am I the face of this? And so in doing that, you have to be, I've always believed, in order to be a marketable and a really good drag entertainer, you have to be a good actor. You have to know how to sing. You have to know how to model. You have to know how to style something. You have to know how to write something. You have to know how to talk on a microphone. You have to be able to do all these things. Maybe you don't do them at 100%, but you have to have an understanding of how to do those things and how to go, shit, I don't know. There's nobody here to help me with my hair. All right, well, I'll do my default. I know what does work. So you have to be able to know how to do those things. With that said, sometimes you'll be around people who can do something like that so much better than you. And you think, oh God, I don't know. I mean, am I really, you start to second guess yourself. And I do that all the time. I still do that. I'll be 45 in January. I still do that. And I'm always going to do that. And I like to say, and I think a lot of us like to say, well, I just do whatever and I give no fucks. I give no fucks. And I do say that. But the problem is the people who say that they give no fucks are really the ones who give so many fucks. They give, and I do, because I'll find myself second guessing, like, well, should it go this? Should it just be a little bit more this way, a little bit more that way? Because I find for myself as a person of size, as somebody who's in their 40s, drag entertainer, I feel like what I do, I have to really corner the market on it. We talked about this with fetishes, but it's a market that I've cornered. I like to take what I do seriously, but not myself seriously. But with that said, some people think that the way to go about that will just be funny and jovial all the time. But that's not my personality. I am fun and I have a good time, but I'm not like guffawing at everything all the time and falling down and like, oh my God, this will be funny if I just shove a cookie in my face. Like, but what's fun? Like, I want to know what's really funny or what's real. Like, it's okay to be glamorous. It's okay to do those things. But for me, it's always keeping yourself in check. I always have to keep myself in check and go, it's okay if those people aren't buying it. Like I have a set of people that follow what I do, that are into what I do, that like what I do. And I like what I do and I like what I give. And, aha moment, maybe, yeah. The aha moment, I can remember, going back to a couple of years ago when I got invited to go to the Emmys and I said, everyone said, oh, what are you going to wear in drag? What are you going to wear in drag? And I thought I could take this moment and go in full drag. But I wasn't nominated for being a drag queen. And I didn't win for being a drag queen. I won for a talent that I had aside from that and so I thought, you had every opportunity to do it before all these other people did it, but you didn't take that opportunity. And I didn't want to. And that was an aha moment for me where I thought, I can step outside of it and be recognized for straight up skill that instead of going, oh, but don't forget, I also do drag. That's not why we asked you to come here. Are you just that, or are you more than that? And so that was an aha moment, I think.
I think I had my aha moment when I was quite young, probably in high school. I learned pretty much on my own, and then it was confirmed to me later in my career that and we've heard that many times, you got to fake it to make it. And that's part of being a performer as well. It's like, sometimes you're not in the mood to do something, and in order to build the confidence or to exude the confidence, you kind of have to fake it sometimes.
Sure.
Maybe you're not feeling well. Maybe you've gotten a fight with your husband or lover or something. Maybe there's something that's frustrating, and then you go on stage and then you pretend, you act as if you are confident. And I think there's something really powerful in that, because you can manifest confidence.
Yes, you can.
By just kind of believing it. I know that sometimes I may not have the perfect outfit on, but if I believe it in my posture, in my speech, in my body language, and in my presence, that this fucking ugly outfit is what I meant to do that, as Pee Wee Herman would say. I meant to do that. Yeah, I meant to do that, and I believe that, and that's just how it's going to be. It's how you want to represent yourself and how you want to present yourself that will ultimately translate as confidence.
Suspension of disbelief.
Right.
I agree with you. But yeah, I mean, there's so many roads. There's so many roads you can take, and to it's never going to be a right way. There's not one specific way. You just have to find the way that's right for you.
And Kim did say that she is close to our age, and I think it doesn't really have as much to do with, everyone has their own path and their own journey and their own way of dealing. It doesn't mean that just because you've reached a certain age that you should be at this point.
Right.
I'm very much a late bloomer. I find that I'm only really, really, truly finding actual confidence now that I'm in my mid 40s. It's but it's there's no actual timeline. There's no rule that says you will find it when you find it, and you will find the people around you who will build you up and help you find that confidence. But ultimately, it has to come from inside, and you have to.
And that's the important part, is finding that group of people around you that are like, I know how gross you are. I know how fucking messy you are, but I only champion your best. I know you at your absolute worst, and I know you at your absolute best. And I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to protect that. And I'm going to know that when I see you, I'm always fucking, I'm going to fucking rah you every time, because I want to see you succeed. And I want people to know how gorgeous and smart and sexy and fierce and viable you are. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with having days where you're not like that. There's nothing wrong with having weeks. And certainly this year, there's nothing wrong with having a fucking year where you're not like that. Kim, keep on keeping on. We love you.
Kim, one thing I learned during this pandemic is I'm able to filter those people out. The fact that there's so much isolation, I know who the people are. Fuck out of here, man. Like, I don't need, now I'm really kind of dwindling down the core people that I really need in my life, the people that will build me up, the people that support me, and the people that inspire me. So use this time to kind of get rid of the nonsense people who are not there for you to do those things for you. Delta, let me see you suck that candy cane one more time.
Just real quick. Where's it at?
Oh, it's up your ass.
Take the condom back off.
On the heck? Qua qua.
We'll be back with Very That.
Oh my God.
And we are back with Very That. We had some really good letters.
Yes, we did. There's
Really good.
many good letters. I still think that we should do a special on fetishism, and that might have to happen before the year ends.
Do we have to do it? You think we should just do it in the nude? I mean, I think
I would love that. Just desnudo. Let's see. I think. Oh, you know what time it is? It's time for see something.
Oh, see something. I see something. This is a see something picture of us. It's not that old, actually. This is probably, I would say, maybe 8 or 6 years old. Maybe 8 years old. It's not that old in the grand scheme of things. This is after Drag Race. This is at the Abbey, I think.
It was at the Abbey. Yep. And it was one of the premieres. Do you remember which premiere it was for Drag Race?
I don't, but I will tell you what I do know about this specific picture. Number one, I don't have on any nails, and that is just wow. Look at that hand. That's just like a paw.
You know who you look like, just not necessarily not every day, but in this particular picture with you making that face, you look like Honey Boo Boo's mom after she got the makeover. Not while she was, you know how she. Yeah.
Well, you know who you look like? You look like fucking Honey Badger. So, no, but I remember, not only do I remember this particular night, I remember what led up to this, which was, this was the first time you and I had gone to, or me and you, I don't know what that is technically, you and I or me and you. Anyway, we were in Arizona, and we had done that gig where it was like 3 nights, and then we came back and we immediately went to this. And we were in like Tucson and Phoenix.
Oh, yes.
Remember that? It was like our first time out together after Drag Race. And I remember actually at that gig, I got bed bug bites at the hotel.
Ew,
and if you zoom in on this picture, probably you can probably see them on my arm. And that was the dress I bought to wear, which is probably one of the last times I ever wore a sleeveless thing, just because I don't like wearing. For me, I don't like my bingo wings out, but I don't mind if other people want to do it. More power to them, because I think they're gorgeous. But anyway, this is, we don't have these anymore, really. These big Drag Race events. You know what I mean?
I miss them very much because they were very fun.
Well, they eventually became very structured and very like, you have to buy a ticket or you have to be, whereas this used to be like, oh, I'm on so-and-so's guest list and there's this much standing room and we used to have such a good time and hang out and it was a reason to get dressed up.
It was a party. It was an actual party. You know, it wasn't you didn't have to sit down anywhere. There was no assigned seats. It was just roaming and mingling and being social and wearing something, something special for the night. And I do miss that very much. I miss that. I
mean, I think it's beautiful that the movement of Drag Race is so popular that it has become a thing where, well, we need to turn this into another special, something for people to watch, because there are people that don't get to go see these things, so they need it brought to their home, and that's great. But their collateral damage, us on the wayside, is like, oh, I guess we're not really gonna go, because if we go, we're on camera and we're working. You're going to that to go work, whereas this was just like, oh, bitch, I can't wait. I got a new pair of shoes. I got a new earrings or whatever, and it was fun. And it is not saying it's not fun anymore for people, but it is now a production where you're an unpaid participant, but expected to act and react and smile and be shocked, be this, be that, which is, that's the name of the game. But damn, I miss all that. That was fun.
I see something in my outfit. That jacket that I'm wearing is it's actually part of a complete sort of Matador set.
Yes, it is.
And I've worn it multiple times. And during this COVID time, as I'm spending as much time as I am right now in my apartment, I have gone back to the idea. I mean, I think drag has veered away from the fact that you can wear things more than once.
Sure.
You know, I think we've gotten into the idea that you have to have a fresh, new rhinestone costume all the time. And part of being, you know, I wouldn't even say that I'm a fashionable person. I love fashion and I enjoy fashion. I enjoy fashion brands. But I think that part of style, a personal style, is being able to take those items, whether they be fashionable, a fashion brand, or not, or something that's found at a vintage shop like that jacket, and you are allowed to wear it over and over again.
Sure.
I think that needs to be something that needs to be reminded, especially to those who are starting drag for the first time, who are just experimenting with it. You don't need to have a fresh, new costume every time and spend all of your money doing some. You can have those things and you can rewear them. And it's really about upcycling, recycling, revisiting the objects that you love and wearing them. And going back to the letter that I believe, what was her name? Kim. You know, it's just about having the confidence in it. You know,
Right.
I really kind of feel bad for the newer generation of especially drag race entertainers, because I think they are under the impression that if they wear something that is not fresh, new, with a gazillion rhinestones on it, that they are not successful, that they are not entertaining, that they are not powerful, that they are not that they're perhaps going off brand, you know. But I think I maybe it's just because I feel like I'm just becoming more and more of an old eccentric. But the people that I really find interesting are those who can take those items that are in their collection and use them again and again and revisit and wear them in a different way. And I'm telling you, I've had that I still have that outfit, and I will continue to wear that outfit and be photographed in that outfit. Tiffany Haddish, the comedian, is that her name? Tiffany Haddish. Yes. She wore, I believe, a white Alexander McQueen dress or something like that. She wore it on a red carpet. She wore it on a talk show, and she's like, "Hey, I paid for this. This is my fucking dress, and I'm going to wear it. If I want to wear it this way, if I want to wear it around my neck, if I want to wear it as a skirt, I will wear the fucking thing." And I think in this seesaw thing, if you see something in your closet that you don't want, you don't have to throw everything out just because you wore it once. You can revisit. You can rewear it.
Well, that's true. Also, where we find the breakdown between style and trend and fashion and taste and sophistication and all of those things, because like just as you said, the messages being delivered and received to many drag entertainers, and then it overlaps, it goes into the Real Housewives and all these other people, that the more rhinestones you have on, the more expensive you look. And the more marcelled, waved, pastel wigs you're wearing, the more you're slaying the wig game.
Right.
And the more human your wig is, the more real you look. And it's like, it has to be a combination of so many different things. If that's what you like, perfect it, wear it, and do it. I was just working with a young up and coming queen out here in the area who just sent me a message and was like, "Hey, I really was wondering if there's any way I could hire you to make a wig for me." And I said, "Well, yeah, what do you want?" And she was like, "This is what I want." And I looked at all of the things that she had, and I looked at what she wanted, and she said, these are the ideas of what I want, but whatever you come up with that incorporates these elements. And I thought, she's so young, but she was so sophisticated in her taste level with what she wanted and how she wanted to do it. Only been doing drag maybe a year, but the idea was that she was doing what she wanted to do. And it wasn't like, because I've heard the, younger queens, I only do blonde, or I'm a pinup, or I'm this or that. No, you got to be all of those things.
Yes.
You have to be all of them. You have to know all of them. You have to, or else you can't just do one thing. You have to do all those things, because you got to allow yourself to decide, what do I love most? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't wear this all the time, but this is a default for me because I like this kind of. I like Dora Lee Rhodes from 9 to 5. That's my thing. That's what I like. But that can't be what I always wear.
Yeah, I have this green crinoline outfit that I have First of all, it came as like a, you've seen me wear it. It's a bright green. It used to be a square dancing crinoline skirt that has transformed into so many different things. It's been multiple different dresses. It's been added onto things. I've worn it as a skirt. But I think in this time especially, it's really a good time for us to really kind of consider the idea of upcycling, because it's really good. It's great for the environment. In the world where fast fashion is how we live, it's like just kind of nice to go through what you have and reinvent something. So that's where I'm at with my wardrobe.
I love it. I love it. I think that's so smart. I think it's fun, and I think it's why do you have to go, oh God, I had such a good time wearing that? It's over.
Yeah, goodbye. Sell
why
it.
Can't you
Depop.
Have fun again?
Yeah, wear it
fun
again.
That's exciting.
Yes, definitely.
See something. Well, I think that's a good picture. I mean, like I said, it's a more recent picture, but it's fun to look at that, because we do have lots of pictures, and we also have some solo ones as well that we can look at into the future. But thank you for joining us on another episode of Very That, which comes out every single Monday, not just on Spotify or Apple or wherever you procure your podcast, but also you can see the podcast as it's being created on YouTube.
Yes, and as a reminder, just we love reading your letters, and we love answering all of your curiosities. Make sure that you email us at deltaandraja@gmail.com.
Yes. And
Delta
if you want to support the podcast, aside from just listening to it, subscribe to it and search Very That with Delta and Raja. You can subscribe, so you'll get a notification when it comes out, and also rate the podcast, because that's how other people find out about the podcast and that it exists and that we're insane and we suck on candy canes and talk about prosciutto. Wow. And also we're on Instagram. You can follow both of us. Sutan Amrul on Instagram, Delta Work on Instagram. Simple.
Yeah.
Yes, Very That. So we will be back next week again in the full holiday. This is a holiday sweater that I decided to wear, but I have other ones. I think I'm going to wear, I don't know, maybe I'll wear a different one. But it's Christmas.
Delta, dare I even say, you know me, I'm so bah humbug, but dare I say that being around you during this time has really actually influenced me to enjoy the holidays a little bit more.
I love that.
Thank you so much.
You know what you can get yourself for $2? You can go to 99-cent store. Look at that.
Okay, that's too much.
I have them on my. I have them on my make. This is where I do my makeup.
No, I was really just referring to you sucking on a candy cane. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Forever Dog.
To listen to Very That ad-free, sign up for Forever Dog Plus at foreverdogpodcast.com/plus.
Very That is produced by Forever Dog and Moguls of Media, aka M.O.M.
Hosted by Delta Work and Raja.
Music, sound design, and editing by Will Pitts.
Produced by Big Dipper.
Executive produced by Willem Belli, Alaska Thunderfuck, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. Oh, Wendy.
Right. It could be that.